Hi everyone, Dana Brown here with Imagine Your Tomorrow. Mark's not here today, but I wanted to reach out to you and talk to you about something that all of us who own our own home-based business deal with, and that's the pros and the cons of owning a home-based business. But before I do, please remember to subscribe, like, and comment on our YouTube channel. Love to hear feedback from you all. And also click the bell if you haven't so you receive future notifications as well. So let's talk a bit about owning your own home-based business and what it really means. What are the pros and cons of doing so? Let's imagine for a moment that your desk chair is your couch, your desk is your coffee, your kitchen or your coffee table, right? Your commute is the length of your hallway, and you, yes, you are your own boss. You know, that's a dream come true for so many of us. We have this vision of being the captain of our own ship. But you know, sometimes the challenges are just a little too much for some people, and they don't really consider all the pros and cons before they get into it. So let's talk about them a bit. Let's talk about pros first. Pros, independence. While the independence and freedom of running your own business, no one telling you what to do, how quickly you should do it, what the deadlines are, it's all up to you. You steer your own course, right? You make the decisions, but guess what? You also have to solve your own problems. That being said, it can be really tempting to work from your office in your jammies. Occasionally I do it, but you also need to think about what it means to you to have a home-based business. Where's your balance? You must exercise self-discipline. You need to exercise motivation. You need to be concentrating and focused. You need to be committed to the tasks at hand. You also have to have some pretty dang good time management skills, don't you? So, you know, working from home isn't just a play day. It's not a side gig. You need to be committed and you need to have some self-talk with yourself of what it really is, what it means to you to run a home-based business. Visualize it. You know, visualize, do I want to go into my spare bedroom and set up an office, or I'm going to work from my desk? Do I want to be able to sleep in and just work a couple hours a day, or am I going to put in a full day? So those are some discussions you need to have with yourself. You can be more productive working from a home-based office than you probably even were working from your local job or a corporate job. Gone are the days of office distractions and the interruptions that you have in your job, the long meetings you were required to be part of, or the office gossip. Also, you get to commute, or you get to cut down on your commuting almost 100%. So those are some of the benefits of being more productive. Ease of communication. You know, it used to be that in corporate America, they were the ones with all the gadgets and all the technology, but gone are those days as well, where you can virtually communicate anywhere in the world with a click of a button. Whether it's GoToMeetings, whether it's Skype, whether it's Zoom, whether it's emailing and messaging, you are pretty much in control of when and where you want to communicate. And it's important that you understand these tools so that you can use them to your best advantage. So let's talk about some of the cons, shall we? Um, you're not watching a clock. And when I say that, you know, typically with a job, you had parameters and they said you worked from 8 to 5, right? Well, when you're working from home, sometimes you forget that 8 to 5. It gets a little blurry and you come into the office, maybe you're in and you're sitting down at your computer and checking your emails or whatever it is you do to start your morning at 7 o'clock. And then the next thing you know, you look up and it's midnight. I've been there. I've done that. Matter of fact, I did that 2 days in a row last week. I was working at 2 a.m. going, oh my gosh, I need to get to bed. So Just because you think working from home means that you have more freedom and you work less hours, it's not necessarily the case, especially if you're not watching it. So it can be really difficult to separate your work from your home life, and you need to commit to setting a policy of your work hours for yourself as well as for maybe any clients or people that you're working with, uh, where you work for just a certain time of the day, and then at the end of the day, you close the door. Ah, there's the key. Feeling out of touch. Oh my gosh, there's times it gets really quiet in this lonely office. There are there's times that I don't see someone for 10 hours or talk to them. I have made a point to um, get connected via through live calls, Zoom calls, Skype calls, talking with like-minded business owners like myself or my mentors. Thank you, mentors, for giving me that lifeline and letting me realize I'm not alone in this venture. That feeling of loneliness, that feeling of it being out of touch, or that feeling of being out of the loop, you're missing you working with a team in your job, you're missing the impromptu lunches and the after hours get-togethers. Those can be really difficult to replicate when you own your own home-based business. But if you make an effort, you can, first of all, like I mentioned, connect online with your mentors or other like-minded business owners. You set yourself times to go out and have a coffee with your best friend or your neighbor down the street. Um, Find groups maybe on a local business, on a local level. Find groups that have similar interests, whether it's business interests or whether it's personal passion projects, and allow yourself that time to get out and to socialize and to mingle. Your business will be better off for it, and so will you mentally. You won't go quite so crazy. Another one is missing the benefits of technology. When I was working in corporate America, I had all the gadgets. I had all the technology at my fingertips. But it's not that difficult anymore. Working from a home-based business, you still have access to those gadgets. You can find them through digital software, cloud technology, where you can actually have the same gadgets. You just need to determine which gadgets you want and do the tutorials that they offer and to learn to implement them in your business. Lack of appreciation. This is the last one, and this one can be a little sensitive when you realize that maybe those around you don't fully appreciate or understand why or or what you are doing with your online business. They don't, they're not around all the time to see what you're doing. They may not value your time, or they may be expecting you to do all the home tasks simply because you're there, simply because you're at home. They head out to work and you are still here. And so, probably the best thing to do is really just sit down and talk to them. Talk to them about why you're doing what you're doing and what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve with your own business, your own home-based business. Kind of paint that picture so they have a better understanding and appreciation for you. And then also another thing is to delegate. Delegate the tasks that you don't necessarily have time for because you also are working a full-time job. So, for example, maybe your children could do the sweeping and mopping of the kitchen and the bathroom. Maybe your husband, you could say, honey, can you be in charge of the outside tasks and taking out the garbage? And then I could sure use your help with, um, oh, what is I'm trying to say, vacuuming the floor, right? And then you yourself go, and the task I will take on is I will pay the bills and I will go and do the shopping, and then my husband and I are going to share on the cooking. So if you delegate and if you kind of set those expectations, then then the appreciation level will rise because they will realize that you too are doing something for the better of your family with your business. And everybody comes together to do something for the better of the family, right? So, in closing, if you have the right attitude, if you have the correct mindset saying, I'm going to make this a business, and you treat your business like a business, you also hold yourself accountable to that business, then the benefits of owning a home-based business can be tremendous, but it takes the first step of you identifying what it is you want out of the home-based business and taking that action. So hopefully you got some great value out of this and it was good thought or food for thought. Feel free to leave any comments that you have. I'm always interested in wanting to hear your comments about what you think about today's video. And until then, imagine your tomorrow. Bye now.